get humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. This is my show. This is my camera. I run it. Oh!
All right, the real is back. The Ville is back. My boy Tommy has relocated to my city. Yeah. All right. Now Kawhi Leonard is also relocating. LA Clippers making a deal with the Toronto Raptors. They are trading Kawhi Leonard for Brandon Ingram, Grady, 2 first-round picks, a pick swap, 2 second-rounders, and it's quite possible it's going to be a lot more to that. But one thing that has been said over the past day and a half, as it pertains to the Eastern Conference landscape, is that for whatever reason, nobody feels that there's a move being made that's going to shift the balance of the conference. They're saying, you know what? I mean, the Knicks is still sleeping comfortably. The Celtics is in disarray. They don't think Miami is going to have a completed roster by the time the season starts. This move happens. All of a sudden, Kendrick Perkins is changing his tune. He's saying that the Toronto Raptors now have one of the upper legs in the conference. How do you feel about Kawhi Leonard going back to Toronto?
It's scary, bro.
Really?
I ain't gonna lie. It's scary, man. And I think they got a chance to keep like the main pieces that they need. I mean, they really didn't. I mean, I love Bi, bro. But
he's always like, the man, odd man out, you know?
Yeah. Weirdly never. He has a strange career. To me, man, because I feel like just as far as his play, and I feel like it's a combination of like not fully being respected, but also partly of it is to me is him not necessarily being as assertive as I feel like he should be.
Yeah.
Or should have been in the past.
Yeah. He plays too cool at times.
Yeah.
You know, nonchalant, too cool.
But what I can say, real quick though, I'm sorry. What I can say, obviously Kawhi is the better choice. And the biggest part of this, like I said, they didn't really lose anybody, and it's man. And the biggest part of this, I'll say, to me, the biggest part of this, I'll say, is Kawhi actually played last postseason.
He played in the regular season. They got packed up in.
I mean, the regular season. I'm sorry, I meant to say last regular season.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He actually played. So, like, as much as I'm still like whatever to him playing, because it's like we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
that's a lot of upside, knowing what's going on right now. So
yeah, to your point, Kawhi played 65 games last year. And the 65 game rule needs to be called the Kawhi Leonard rule because they made it with him in mind. And all of these other all-stars and superstars were out last year, barely making the games. And here you go, Kawhi playing 65 games, having a career high in points, 27.9 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, 3.6 assists, shot basically 90% from the free throw line. Shot 38.7% from 3, shot 50 from the field. So basically a 50-40-90 season for him. And then you got to factor this in too. He's not going into a situation where he has to carry everything, right? Because the expectation when he went to Toronto Raptors the first time was Pascal Siakam is there. OG was there, but he wasn't really getting PT. I think he was coming off an injury or whatever. You got Norman Powell. You got some good pieces, but Kawhi Leonard was the only one that had any type of experience, right? You're going to a situation now, you got Scotty Barnes, been there for some years. You got RJ Barrett, been there for some years. Manuel Quickly, he finally got an opportunity to handle the rock a lot more. Starting PG there. The one thing I will say is the bench is kind of light right now. I mean, you're not looking at a situation where you're probably looking at the same situation that the San Antonio Spurs had in the NBA Finals. You just don't have enough guys coming off your bench to give the starters some meaningful rest. So with a guy that plays, I mean, he played 65 games last year, but that can't be the consistent expectation for him going forward, you need to bolster your bench. So I imagine there's going to be some free agents to come about. There's going to be a lot of conversation about who's going to be the backup one, the backup, the backup five, things like that. Because when you look at the flip side, you look at the Clippers, I see Brandon Ingram going there. I have Mathurin. He's going to be coming back looking for, that type of bag that, the same thing Norman Powell was looking for when he left the Clippers, right? Then you have Darius Garland at the one. So those three players are going to be looking for some money, right? Their next contract. So they're going to be playing for their next deals, in my opinion. I expect all of them to have improved seasons. But one thing I will say about Brandon Ingram is this. He's never been the guy. He's just the guy that you trade to get the guy. Like, it happens every time. He's always getting traded to get the guy. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of hate that for him. But at some point, the light bulb's got to go on. I can't be calm, cool, and collected every single night. I got to come out at hoop. He has been compared to Kevin Durant since he got into the league. Like, it's about time we see some Kevin Durant, productivity out of him. And if he does that, the Clippers could still be a threat. I mean, not, 4, 3, 2, or 1, but they could be in the mix for 7, 6, or 5 if he plays up to the level that he needs to play at,
Yeah, I think looking at most of the people, I don't want to say most of the people, some of the people that they have, obviously, as you mentioned, they also got Grady Dick that just came through as well. I know. And yeah, like the team overall can definitely be like, I don't even want to say necessarily formidable, like you said, but just like under 4, of course, but like something potentially that they'll a sleeper team, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I'll say that they look like way more of a sleeper team to me. I can't lie, I feel I feel for Darius Garland more than anything out of all this.
Why you feel for him?
Cause man, like Cleveland went to the Cleveland, went as far as they could go, but like I just felt like, even Cleveland could have. Cleveland went as far as they can go with him as well, but I just feel like this team is not going to. They're going to be worse to me than the Cavs.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think they can. Like, again, as much as I'll look at them just as a sleeper team. The Cavs, I didn't necessarily look at as a sleeper team last year.
Okay.
So I feel like I don't see them getting as far as the Cavs coming this year.
Okay.
Personally. So
Now-
yeah.
Now we're talking about obviously the impact Kawhi Leonard's going to have. You already have two guys that are about 6'10", okay, in Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett. You throw in Kawhi Leonard, one of the greatest defenders of all time, quickly a capable defender. They're going to be able to play some phenomenal defense. Phenomenal defense. Scotty Barnes, he's a top 10 defender in the NBA. When you look at what they're going to be able to put on the basketball floor from a defensive perspective, I think, everybody talks about how the West is the better conference, the more elite conference. Some of the deals that's being made, the Eastern Conference is going to be a defensive juggernaut for a lot of these teams. Like, whoever's coming out of the East, they're going to be dominant defensively. When you look at what they were doing last year, opponents, they held them to about 111 points per game. They had a defensive rating that was 5th in the league. You're adding Kawhi Leonard to that. Now, obviously, the more impact that we're looking for is offensively. They were 21st in points and they were 15th in offensive rating. You add a guy that's averaging 28 on a 50-40-90, a 2-time finals MVP, you're going to see an immediate change. And I think it's going to be late game situations. You start to see the benefit of that payoff because Kawhi Leonard, once he's locked in late game situations, he's one of the most clutch players in the league, in my opinion. I don't really have a list that I have in front of me of that list, but off the top of my head, you're going to see a healthy Kawhi pull out a lot of games for you. I mean, it's going to be the difference between, losing 5 games or winning 5 games in some cases, just having him out there in late game situations. So I like the deal. It's a sneaky move that's going to pay dividends immediately, but you got to make some more moves after this deal is done. You got any lasting comments on this?
No, you did. You said everything as far as especially with defense. They still got Jakopoto, right?
Yep. Pirtle's gonna be the starting center.
So like projected starters is like I'm looking here at Quickly, RJ, him, him quickly. I'm sorry, RJ, Kawhi, Scotty Barnes, Poto.
Yep. That's the starting 5.
That's a
tough,
nice start.
right?
That's a tough starting 5, dude.
That's a tough 5. But one thing I will say about this starting 5 is I don't know if Pirtle is the 5 you want if you're chasing a championship. You might have to bring somebody else in to bring him off the bench, maybe. But that would be the only thing. I mean, he's a capable 10 and 10 guy. I mean, so that's all you can really ask for out of him. But hey, man, Toronto Raptors got their guy back. Shout out to Drizzy. You know he gonna be back at the game. So that's
We're
one.
pulling up white tees, ball shorts, and Tim.
Listen, at the end of the day, the Knicks is the only team that's supposed to be winning because it's New York. Everyone else, pa fuera. I'll see you later. I don't want to hear
There's
it.
nothing like going to the Garden in shorts and a T-shirt. Oh, that's playoff weather. We walk different, we talk different. There's a different bounce in our step.
When the Knicks are in the playoffs, my blood pressure is through the roof.
Yeah, I get really
He
hyped
really does.
and amped when the Knicks
Yes.
play, and I see them do well. But we now have to calm that down because we're both on heart medication.
When the Knicks are in the playoffs, I might be a little bit nicer to you. Strangers are high-fiving each other in the streets.
That's the only thing that anybody wants to talk about.
When the Knicks are in the playoffs, my life is complete.
There is no basketball city like New York City.
The city was built for the Knicks to be in the playoffs.
The Rats don't run the city, the Knicks do.
I like to paint what I love, and so I end up painting the Knicks quite a bit. The beating part of New York is the Knicks.
MSG on full blast, the traffic backed up, the excitement level is insane.
You see the blue and orange everywhere.
Blue and orange, blue and orange, blue and orange, blue and orange.
When the Knicks are in the playoffs, I'm styling and profiling.
It is pandemonium in the city.
When the New York Knicks in the playoffs, it's all in, all one, New York forever!
The next thing we got to talk about, LeBron James has informed the LA Lakers that he will continue his NBA career for the next season, but he told them that the franchise can move on without him because he will play elsewhere. After 8 seasons with the Lakers, including leading the franchise to the 2020 NBA championship, LeBron departs and enters free agency and set to join a new team. Real quick, I'm going to give you his numbers, just his numbers, because first of all, we got to talk about how the man is about to be 43 this coming season. So 25, basically 26 points, 7.7 rebounds, 7.7 assists, 1.2 steals, 73% from the free throw line, 36% from 3, 51% from the field. Those are his numbers, okay? We factored in the fact that he's going to be 43 this upcoming season. We look at the fact that when he got to LA, all right, they were pretty much dead in the water. I mean, they were still top 10 in the league, top 10 in the league in viewership, but that's just because they were the Lakers. It wasn't because they were good, right? Then you draft Lonzo Ball. Those numbers jump back up to what we expect from the Lakers as far as, how many TV games you're going to get. Then LeBron comes, okay? That completely reinvents what the Lakers were going to look like in that period of time versus, how they were going to look with Lonzo, Hart, Ingram, Randall, and all those players, right? Do you define LeBron's Lakers tenure, albeit 2020 champion, however you want to label that, Mickey Mouse ring or whatever, was LeBron's tenure in LA a success?
I think so. I mean, the name of the game is winning a championship, and he did that. I'll start there. I think impact wise, yeah, I think he did what was needed to be done. Obviously, like anybody can say more can be done, but yeah. I feel like it's very successful. I mean, breaking a scoring record there. I mean, shoot, even
Yep.
if you look at his last season, even if you look at a couple months ago, whatever the case may be, last season. I mean, his impact then, and it's like, yeah, phenomenal, man. My hats off to him. Salute to him. I hope wherever he goes, obviously, impact and hopefully some playoff action.
For sure. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But what I do want to ask you is this, okay? You good?
Okay, you back now?
You good?
Yeah.
You went out for a second.
Oh, they say you went out. That's crazy.
Yeah, but what I do, we'll talk about, where he's going in just a minute. What I do want to ask you is this, okay? Because we do know there's levels to this. These are Laker fans we're talking about, all right? We got to paint the full picture. This is not LeBron coming to the Lakers at 25. This is not LeBron coming to the Lakers at age 30, right? I mean, man was what, 33, 32 when he came to LA? Something right. So we were expecting him to be on his last legs in LA already. And he still came out there, did what he did. Like I said, I read you the stats. They got a championship. He has a finals MVP, all of those things. You can't take this stint from LeBron and hold it up side by side with Magic and Kareem. Hold it up side by side with Shaq and Kobe because these circumstances were different. If you just look at LeBron's tenure in the Lakers jersey, what he did as a player, all right, there's 3 levels to this. There's, you get a tribute video. There's, you get a jersey retirement, and then there's, we're going to build a statue out in front of the arena in your honor. Where does LeBron fall in those tiers, in your opinion, for the Lakers franchise?
I would say, what you said, statue jersey. I would say statue.
You're lying. Why?
Nah, I'm not
statue.
saying I'm not lying.
Statue.
Yeah, I'm gonna say statue.
Statue. I want to look up who got Lakers statues real quick.
Okay.
You go ahead. I'm gonna look this up.
I mean, I'm looking up his stats right now. I mean, he's 10th in points. I mean, one, like I said, he already brought a ring. We'll go there. 10th in points, 17th in rebounds, 5th in assists. Like, he's top 20. He's top 20 in pretty much everything. What is it? Points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. He's under 20 for all those. And out of those 5, 2 of them, he's top 10.
Now,
so yeah, go ahead.
Here are the players, all right? Here are the individuals that have statues in front of the Lakers arena, all right? Now, Chick Hearn, legendary voice of the Lakers, he has one, all right? That's a separate category. We don't really mess with that. Pat Riley, head coach, Showtime Lakers. We'll sit that one aside. You have Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant. Is LeBron in that category? Is he in that category with those players that I named? Again, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Shaq, Kareem, Magic, Kobe. Is he in that mix?
I would say yeah.
Just as a Laker?
Just as a Laker.
Wow, okay.
I would say yes.
Okay. Man, I would say automatic jersey retirement. I would say automatic jersey retirement. I think
automatic jersey retirement for sure.
I don't know if statue for sure because, and I'm just thinking in terms of comparing his tenure there to the Lakers greats that were there. I'm not saying overall because
right.
Overall, it could be a situation where it ends up like a Bill Russell thing, right? Like him and Michael Jordan could retire the jersey number 23 league wide when LeBron is done. All right, so I'm not talking about totality. As a Laker, we factor in yes, he does have one championship. He has 2 conference finals appearances. They missed the playoffs multiple times, and again, this is in spirit of fairness. He was injured multiple years late in the season. He was injured multiple seasons to where he wasn't able to be out there. Let's factor that in. And then also, he is going to be 43. Let's factor that in, right? So, I mean, it's not a situation where I'm saying that, his tenure was trash. Because again, he brought them a championship. All right? There was no championship in sight before LeBron came back, let alone the hopes to get one. And also, without Kobe there was nobody itching to come to LA. Nobody. He got there, Anthony Davis like, all right, cool, I'm in, right? So all of those things taken into account, cool. But Kobe 5, Magic 5, Kareem 5, Shaq 3, Jerry West, he's the logo. Elgin Baylor, dude was a small forward putting up 20 and 20s? Like, so I'm saying, I don't think LeBron at the last stages of his career in an LA Lakers uniform did enough to be amongst the LA Lakers legends statues. But they need to retire that man's jersey. If simply for the fact that all of the points I just made, like nobody was checking for the Lakers until he got there. You know what I'm saying? And based on how Lonzo's first year played out, if that would have continued, they would have been cut off TV almost. So like, I'm taking all those things into account. I just don't know if he's going to be remembered as a Lakers legend. He's just a legendary player that played for the Lakers and brought them a championship. I just think those are two different categories. But you did bring up the next point of this conversation. Where is LeBron James going? All right, now I have mixed feelings about this. I made a video titled The Decision Part 3. All right. Obviously I'm a Miami Heat fan. All right. If LeBron comes to the Miami Heat, of course he's going to help them. You have the smartest player in the league with one of the smartest coaches in the league in the same thinking take with a top 5 player and a top 5 defensive player, and you have 4 or 5 guys on your roster that shot 38% or above from 3-point range last season. Yes, I think LeBron would help the Miami Heat. Cavaliers, I mean, it would be the perfect ending. You start there, you get to retire there, win or lose. And I don't think you will win with Donovan Mitchell and James Harden looking the way they looked in the conference finals last year. Absolutely not. I threw out Golden State. Because what we saw in the Olympics, okay, every time I watch Steph and LeBron, those clips from Team USA, I get chills because that was like otherworldly, right? That was otherworldly in the semifinal game and the final game. It was crazy. I would love to see that for a whole 82 games and then a playoff series. Crazy, right? Where do you think LeBron has the best chance? Because he said his next stop is about winning. All right. He doesn't care about the money. He just wants one last opportunity to win before he bows out. Where do you think LeBron is going to land, or where do you want to see him land next season?
I would say, excuse me. I would say either Golden State or Cleveland.
Ooh.
I think if Bron had Donovan Mitchell, where it was just them two, with Cass, I think he'd be all right. I feel like he could, like I've seen before. I feel like he could be like a Anthony, like be to him like how he was to Anthony Davis. I feel like Anthony Davis needed more, because I think the difference between the three that Bron had, obviously with his championships and stuff like that, Wade and Kyrie, to me, they're similar. and I look at Anthony Davis as on the other side, meaning like Wade and Kyrie to me didn't have to be motivated to be great. And I felt like Anthony Davis, I feel like he had to really push him to be whatever he was supposed to be in order to win, personally. I think that if he had Donovan Mitchell as a teammate, he would probably be that for Bron. Where Bron might, it might be a last push, as far as, my last tenure being in the league, blah, blah, blah. But I think that that extra whatever, I feel like Bron would help him in terms of that. Now, in terms of Golden State, I'm with you completely because, again, I still look at them highlights for that. Obviously, the team wasn't that team, but when I say, like, seeing Bron and Steph on the same team, I don't care if they 50, bro. It's scary.
Yep.
It's scary. So I would love to see. Something like that, dude. Personally, like any other time, in history, I probably would have been like, nah, I don't want to see them like join the team, so like that. But like right now, like, yeah, they would be scary. I mean, Steph is still scary transition wise, but they would be even scarier in the half court to me. Because Bron can still completely like decimate like anybody in terms of anything under the three.
At the 5 too,
and
so it's
come on,
nobody,
man. So
nobody's standing in the lane. Right?
I just think it'll be scary in terms of that, though.
Now, if I'm gonna put it to you like this, all right? If LeBron goes back to Cleveland, he is only doing so. Well, 2 reasons. Number 1, to retire at home. Number 2, he's just trying to complete the set. All right. There's a movie by the name The Wiz. Okay. In Miami, he played with Dwayne Wade, aka the Tin Man. Slide some oil to me. All right. Knees didn't work the way they used to. All right. Goes to Cleveland. He played with The Wiz. All right. We label Kyrie a magician with the basketball, right? He goes to the Lakers. I think Anthony Davis had all of the talent in the world. He just didn't have the know-how. Didn't have the know-how. Scarecrow. If he goes back to Cleveland to play with Donovan Mitchell, he's playing with the mean old lion. Got no courage. This. Don't got it. Don't got it. Don't got it. We've seen it time and time again. He don't got it. All right. LeBron is trying to complete the set. All right. That's it. He either go to Miami, be able to run it back, or he goes to Golden State and do something crazy. Other than that, out of here. Get out of here. I don't want to see him in Cleveland playing with him. And you got James Harden over there he got to worry about too? Nah.
Yeah, I can't lie. That'd be too much of a headache. If I'm going to be honest with you,
LeBron, dude, I guarantee you LeBron will stop dyeing his beard after week 1. He going to let you know how stressed he is. Going to start looking for Bronny all over the place. Like, man, bring my son back out here.
Facts. I don't know if I don't, as much as I love Bron, dude, I don't know if I want him on Miami, dude. Like, just if I'm gonna be honest, I don't think currently he fits.
I wouldn't say fits. I just think what he has to do, it's not beneficial to where he's at in his career.
Yeah.
His mind.
But even with the team currently, I just think everybody's shooting the ball. They would just have to really, really invest or pick up people who are willing to take like the biggest pay cut. Like, because like, I mean, you got him, Bam, and Giannis alone. Like, have me like, yo, this is not, offense that's gonna like do a whole lot to me personally.
This is what I was talking about as far as I think it could work if he went to Miami, because Eric Spoelstra already changed the offense last year, right? He changed it last year, and they were number 1 in the league in pace. That's never happened. They were one of the best points per game teams in the entire NBA. You had Wiggins. Wiggins shot 44% from 3 last year. Davion Mitchell shot 38. Powell shot 39. Fontecchio shot 37. Tyler was Tyler. I'm pretty sure he shot like 36, 37 as well. Like they shot phenomenal from 3 last year. My thing would be is LeBron has to be your point guard for that to continue to work, because you're running a pick and roll with you and Bam, right? Giannis is probably going to be in the dunker. 9 times out of 10, that's how they play, because based on how their offense flows now, pick and roll with the guard or the big, drop off, lob to the dunker spot. That's what Bam and Khalil Ware was doing for a little while when they had their chemistry working. If you bring a guy like Duncan Robinson back into the fold, same thing. Him and Bam, incredible chemistry in DHOs. They just signed Tim Hardaway Jr. today. Incredible opportunity for them to space the floor. My thing is LeBron has to be the point guard as a starter in that situation. So they need to do a lot of things to make sure, number one, they preserve him the entire season. Okay. Number two, the responsibility that would be placed on him to be the point guard for this team, I don't know how that's going to work out for making sure he lasts until the playoffs and into the finals. Or you got to deal with New York. You got to deal with a disgruntled Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, like, and all that, all that other stuff. So I don't know if it makes sense to bring him in from that perspective. But we both talked about it. We both agree. Golden State, that's where we want to see him. What does all of this mean for Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves?
No, I think they'll be decent. Without Brown, they were playing pretty well. Like, so I'm not gonna just look at it like, oh well, Brown's leaving, so like all is lost. No, they were like actually like, whoop and tail, I'll say, for lack of better words. They was BTA and people and stuff like that, and that beginning of the season was kind of crazy. It surprised a lot of people, but I would say I'm still under the belief that like the Lakers won't go far, strictly because of guys like Ayton and stuff like that. Like, they still don't have enough. I think even with those two, it'll be like kind of the best show. And I don't even want to, and I'll even say this, because how people are, what is it called? I mean, it's just part of it. Racially speaking as well. Just seeing like two white guys. Like, I'm just saying let me finish for you.
All right. All right.
I'm saying because that's a part of the game. And I'm saying that part of the game, meaning like this. There's a thing called Linsanity. Like, there's plenty of instances where whatever's considered the typical, even racially in sports, or in a specific sport, it draws way more attention. Luka is Luka. Austin is Austin. AR is AR. Yeah. I think like when you got during that time, people who are like casual fans or people who just look at stuff like that, like the appeal and stuff like that, saw two white guys killing, and rightfully so. Like, they're good, they're great. So I'm saying like even that adds a factor to like the popularity of the team outside of being the Lakers, because they was killing. We, respectfully speaking, we know what they are. I'm just saying it brings that aspect to it as well. As far as going far, like, no, I don't see them going no further unless they make some trades and things of that nature. People are able to like and all. And then you already know how I feel about Luka anyway, in terms of I don't see Luka, unless he kind of dies down like certain stuff possession wise and time wise in terms of having the ball. I don't really see him ever getting a championship if he don't change up different parts of his game. So like, it'll be exciting to see, but I feel like that's as far as it would go in terms of the Lakers.
Okay. The reason why I said that or made that face is because I had no idea where you was going with that comment.
Oh yeah, it's all good.
That was just a crazy transition. I was
Yeah.
looking
No,
up
I was just
stats and
giving
you
like
said, I'm like, wait a minute, what?
No, I'm just giving it like when you said like just as far as impact or anything like that. I'm just saying from a fan standpoint, from any standpoint, from win standpoint, we can talk about any standpoint. But I'm just saying like even during that time early in the season, last season, that was a thing for like people who barely watched. They were just like, oh man, like the best backcourt is two white guys. Like that was a thing that got brought up. So I'm just saying that like
Jerry West and Gail Goodrich.
You know what I mean? So I'm just saying like it would just be more eyes based off that. I mean, obviously eyes are gonna be on them because it's AR and Luka, of course. You know what I mean? They can hoop, but yeah. I was just talking about every aspect of it.
Okay. Yeah, it just caught me off guard for a second. I didn't know where he was going.
For sure.
Now I looked up some numbers. All right. Now this was posted March 9th, so this doesn't encompass the last month of the regular season. But at one point, without LeBron, Luka and Austin Reeves last season were 9-2. Okay. Before the last month of the season, they were 9-2 without LeBron. Austin and Luka are cones. We know this to be factual. They are cones defensively. Their offensive rating was 125.7. Their defensive rating was 108.8. They had a net rating of 16.9. Just those two in the lineup. Now, for an 11-game sample size, that's great, right? Because also you don't factor in who you were playing, what were the circumstances and things like that. But just that number in itself, that's a great number. If you can blow that up to 82 games, that'd be great. But the problem is, you mentioned him before. A key component to both of their games is pick and roll. You have DeAndre Ayton, who doesn't like to pick or roll. So that's a problem already in JJ Redick's offense. So you have to figure out how to correct that situation. Are you going to be able to replace the productivity of a Rui Hachimura if he doesn't come back? I heard names like Tobias Harris. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's not going to be enough in that scenario to not just replace LeBron, but you got to replace Rui, and you got to factor in that a key component to both of these players being successful is having the ball for extensive periods of time with a great amount of space. You don't have shooters right now. So you got to do a lot of work on this roster if it's going to make sense in the long run for both of these players to, I mean, Austin Reeves is going to make 185 no matter what. They got his bird rights. So they can go up to the cap and then sign Austin Reeves to his money, and now you're above it. So like, no matter what, he's getting paid, Luka's getting paid. You're playing with a ton of money, right? So from what I know is they have about $30 to $50 million to spend, and they don't really plan on spending it. So it's really confusing what's going on. Don't really know what their game plan is. It was told that they had a meeting with Luka last year about how this summer would go. They did not include LeBron in those plans at all when they talked to him about it. So whatever we see from this point forward, it's all Luka making these decisions. So, hey, I don't know. But like we talked about, LeBron, you got Miami, you got Golden State. Don't go to Cleveland. Stay away from Cleveland. All right, man. You don't need that in your life. Just do like everybody else, sign that one-day contract when you're ready to retire. Cool. But
man,
hey,
I ain't gonna lie. His one day contract gonna be so much money.
He ain't taking a discount on that one-day contract. He gonna take like 100,000 one-day contract. He gonna try to set another record before you get up out of there.
Right. That's gonna be the big the wealthiest one-day contract.
Yep, facts.
We're pulling up white tees, ball shorts, and Tim's.
Listen, at the end of the day, the Knicks is the only team that's supposed to be winning because it's New York. Everyone else, pa fuera. See you later. I don't want to hear
There's nothing like going to the Garden in shorts and a T-shirt. Oh, that's playoff weather. We walk different, we talk different. There's a different bounce in our step.
When the Knicks are in the playoffs, my blood pressure is through the roof. I get really hyped and amped when the Knicks play, and I see them do well. But we now have to calm that down because we're both on heart medication.
When the Knicks are in the playoffs, I might be a little bit nicer to you. Strangers are high-fiving each other in the streets.
That's the only thing that anybody wants to talk about.
When the Knicks are in the playoffs, my life is complete.
There is no basketball city like New York City.
The city was built for the Knicks to be in the playoffs.
The Rats don't run the city, the Knicks do.
I like to paint what I love, and so I end up painting the Knicks quite a bit. The beating part of New York is the Knicks.
MSG on full blast, the traffic backed up, the excitement level is insane.
You see the blue and orange everywhere.
Blue and orange, blue and orange, blue and orange, blue and orange.
When the Knicks are in the playoffs, I'm styling and profiling.
Knicks on the playoffs.
It is pandemonium in the city.
When the New York Knicks in the playoffs, it's all in, all one, New York forever!
So, after blowing a 3-1 lead to the Philadelphia 76ers, much to my enjoyment, all right, it made me feel like, I mean, can't even describe it, all right? I'm married. I got multiple kids, and them losing 3-1 was one of the best days of my life, all right? I just want to paint that picture for you. I'm very happy. Did a whole video reaction. Jaylen Brown got on social media and started crashing out, talking about how it was his favorite season. Like, I had a lot of things to say, and most of it was just in the spirit of trolling. This is not that, okay? Jaylen Brown played 71 games last year. 28.7 points, 6.9 rebounds, 5.1 assists. In the regular season, he was widely considered an MVP candidate, okay? Finished 6th in the MVP candidate. Somehow he was NBA second team. I don't know what goes into that, why that's the case. But he was NBA second team, all right? Now, last season, there was no Jason Tatum, okay? Jason Tatum missed the entire regular season, basically comes back late, comes back into the playoffs as well, but you go 56-26 as a team. Obviously, you're missing Jason Tatum, one of your offensive firepowers. You're 19th in points per game, but you're second in offensive rating. You're first in opponent points per game, and you're fourth in defensive rating. You're missing Drew Holiday. You're missing Kristaps Porzingis. You're missing Al Horford, and you're missing Jason Tatum. And you still perform to that magnitude. That's you are in a conversation for top 10 player in the league. Okay, you're not in the top 5, but you're definitely top 10. His comments after the season has been blown up to epic proportions because of basically him and Stephen A going back and forth, him and Kendrick Perkins going back and forth, other members like, Nick Wright and other shows, everybody's going back and forth talking about how crazy those comments were. I agree to the extent that, yeah, it could be your favorite season, but that's not the time to voice that opinion. Like in that scenario right after, right? It may not be the best time to do that. Okay, I'll go that route. But the worst thing you did was said that you had a great time. You had a great year. You got to be the guy. Your team, y'all had great chemistry, camaraderie. Guys who wouldn't get the opportunity did get an opportunity, and you had a successful season from the standpoint you weren't even projected to really do much last year. You were projected to be a play-in team at best. Get all the way to the second seed. That's a good season, right? But that was the worst thing that you did, was make those comments. Why are we in a situation to where Brad Stevens is, per Shams, is shopping Jaylen Brown to everybody? Before it was just, Kevin Durant that one time. Understandable. Giannis Antetokounmpo, top 5 player in the league. All right. Top 25 player ever. Understand it. But now you're just shopping him just to shop him. Help me make sense of this, Tommy. Help me make sense of this.
I think for a long time, people just, I mean, outside of like the couple things, obviously him, getting on stream and stuff like that or whatever it may be. I think people like are spurring this narrative on Jaylen Brown of I think he's intelligent and I think he does not hold his tongue when it comes to certain things that goes against status quo. It's not like something like extreme, like say for instance, like a back and forth, like a Kyrie back and forth with the league and in the world. But I think to a certain degree it shows the NBA like in a weird kind of Freudian slip type of vibe to me, where I feel like an intelligent like black man like him is being looked at, and I'm saying outside of his play at this point. I mean, it's because
I'm
he's
gonna
proven.
change one word you said.
Okay.
You said looked at. I'm going to say penalized for. Go ahead.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, that's perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah, penalized for being like he even ESPN not too long ago was like saying, I think just recently was trying to like make it seem like he had some off-court issues or maturity or things of that nature. Like they were trying to spur something, and even with that, it's we've been like fans of the game or of sports in general, and certain individuals you don't want to. I'm just pulling a curtain in terms of that. I think that certain individuals, time and time again, I feel like the sport itself and or the media itself don't want them to be whatever they are supposed to be. Um, they don't like the fact that somebody like him was trying to like do something with shoes. They don't like the fact that, I mean, you can't say he's a thug. You know what I mean? He's extremely smart.
The man is giving lectures at Harvard.
He's
And
extremely
doing work with
intelligent.
NASA.
He's extremely intelligent and just happens to play basketball. Just happens to play basketball. And so, like with that, he uses his platform. Some I'm not gonna act like he's batting 1,000 in terms of certain things. Yeah, the ref situation or whatever, but it still fact remains as a competitor, you lost. Like how you lost is not an excuse. And so like with that being said, I feel like it's been for a while a huge way of trying to shut him up. And I think as many times as he's gained accolades and things of that nature, I even hear it with like people that I know personally, like on a regular basis. They're like, "Oh man, I think he should go for it." I'm talking about people who are like literally not even close to his caliber of skill, and they're like, "Yeah, yeah, just trade him for him." And I'm like, I feel like you're feeling that way because they're constantly trying to, they meaning the media, are constantly trying to make him look way less than what it is. You know what I mean? Than what he is. He don't represent and this is no disrespect to him, but he's not like a Ant-Man. And again, this is with all due respect because we're, even you and I as black brothers, we're different people. You know what I mean? But I think a specific type of guy like him who challenges things and don't challenge, and what I mean is don't challenge things like in a sense of to even necessarily have a problem or create a problem. Does that make sense?
I'm gonna say it like this.
Okay.
He gets treated as if he's done the same things that the next player we're gonna talk about has done.
Yes, and yeah, and I know
we're not
exactly
gonna talk
what you're
about
saying.
him just yet, but he gets treated like that.
Yes.
So I that's what's so confusing. But again, we're talking about narratives driven by media, ESPN, and Fox and all these other outlets. It just isn't them though.
What do you
mean? They
mean?
came out and said Bobby Marks, one of the guys that I personally feel presents things with as little bias as he possibly can, right? Little to no bias. He said he had a conversation with an NBA analytics person, like somebody who's involved in analytics around the league.
Right.
He said that they told him that Jaylen Brown is viewed as the 7th best player on a team based on analytics.
Right, which means
based
nothing.
on analytics. Okay, so well, I wouldn't say because analytics does have its place in terms of I want you to shoot this particular shot because you're not shooting a high percentage. That's the type of stuff that I mean, where I want to see analytics be limited to that. Where you're telling me a dude that did what Jaylen Brown did last season, a dude that is a finals MVP, conference finals MVP. We saw him guard Luka Doncic and still have to drop 25 on the other side of the ball. We saw him guard Kyrie, still got to drop 25 on the other side of the ball. Like somebody who's capable of doing that at a high level. Seeing what he did, 56 and 26, no Jason Tatum. Your analytics is telling me that his productivity and what he brings to the table doesn't really mean much. Why are we dumbing him down to this? Why are we going that far? See, I've done a lot of videos on Jaylen Brown about, this and that, right? Specifically because I don't like Boston. You have me defending a Boston Celtic on this video because your narrative or whatever you want to do to try to attack this dude is getting way too out of hand for my liking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even about basketball rivalry or hate. They were having a conversation, okay, about trading Jaylen Brown for let me see, what was it? It was like Jaylen Brown for Drew Holiday, Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, like a mixture of those guys, picks and whatnot. Why? It doesn't make sense. Like, I get it. You got to get rid of, probably have to get rid of Drew Holiday because you picked up the next player we're going to talk about in this conversation, right? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Jaylen Brown is one of the 10 best players in the league. And let's go put a number on it. Let's put a number on it. Right now, okay? I'm taking SGA, Joker, Giannis, taking them over him. Steph, that's debatable based on where they are in their careers. KD, debatable based on where he's at in his career. LeBron, debatable. I'm taking Anthony Edwards before I take Jaylen Brown. I might take Jason Tatum before I take Jaylen Brown. He's still a top 10 player. Like, there's only 3 or 4 guys that I'm absolutely not trading for Jaylen Brown, right? Why are we going to such great lengths in this? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What did he do behind the scenes that caused this type of conversation to be had? Like, because I've seen a number of guys speak out against Nike and it not come to this about how they don't like Nike and what Nike does is wrong and all these other things. I've seen it. I haven't seen it like this.
I think I think it's influence. I think he just represents again. I think it's just that if he got along, like go along, get along, like as they say. I think if he being a very, very intelligent brother who don't get in trouble, who don't like have anything going, if he's going along with like his influence is going along with whatever they have going on, then it's fine. I think because of the fact that it's like, hey, I don't need you guys' help. I can do things my way. I can do things how I see fit and still be respectful along the guidelines of the NBA. Then it goes past that because then it's not about basketball anymore. And in terms of like analytics, yeah, analytics does work. I mean, in this case, analytics works perfectly, time and time again. If you if you pull out any type of analytics in terms of, or I don't even want to say analytics. I'm being funny by saying analytics, but yeah, it's racism, dude. I in my opinion, my personal opinion, this has nothing to do with my brother right here. He has his own opinion. Mine is just racism, dude. Like I'm a person who tries my hardest to not let everything like pull that trigger all the time, like every be race related.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
I feel like
Pull the lever,
this
Kronk.
I feel like this right here is that. This right here is that. There we've had in terms of my personal analytics, I've seen my whole entire life many of times where whether it's football or any other sport, whether a guy's about to get traded, all of a sudden he has a pass somehow. They did that to I'll give you a random one. Deshaun Jackson. I remember he was leaving.
Yeah.
He was leaving.
Well.
No. Yes. He was leaving. He was leaving Philly, and all of a sudden, Andy Reid and everybody started like making up lies about his life when he never. He was somebody who played football and never did anything at the time. I don't know what he did prior to that, but the
At the
narrative
time,
wasn't
you're
that
right.
at the time.
I'm just saying he is affiliated.
I don't know nothing
That's
about
confirmed.
anything at the time. At that time, he hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
And it was like he's this, his family's that, and all these other things. We've seen this time and time again, and that we probably speak on in barbershops for the most part, and amongst ourselves as Black people. We see these things and we go, okay, cool. Like I know what it is. Another Marshawn Lynch. I'm just saying
That's the better
again,
comparison.
a Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn and Jalen. That's a better comparison.
Marshawn Lynch. But actually, yeah, it's that. It's literally in a sense we get to a point where the Marshawn example was just that. I don't care what happens, and I mean league wide. I mean the elites upstairs.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens. You better not give him that ball because if he gets that ball and he scores, which everybody on earth knew he was going to, it changes everything. It changes everything. It almost makes what he did be considered the right thing because he's a winner and his influence is completely like built off the fact that, hey, these things are unfair. I'm to just be myself. I don't know why y'all even finding me or messing with me or all these other things. All these other things that they tried to do to paint a picture.
That
Turns out he's just a good guy who happens to be whoever he is.
Yep.
And I think in this situation, it's the same thing. He's just a guy who happens to be good at this sport and play with he it just happens to be who he is.
Yeah.
But I think that scares them. Because then that would make people like us or people that look like us feel like we don't have to just be whatever it is that they want us to stay and be like, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? If you have somebody who's like, you know, you can have somebody like love LeBron James. And that influence can be based on just like, hey, you know, you can build up your friends, he has a whole lot of things you can take from him. And then Jaylen Brown has that as well. You can be considered a nerd and still hoop. But then you could still be considered a nerd or lame or a loser or whatever and still hoop, but still do what you want to do with your influence, with your lane.
Yes.
And the only reason why he's still here is based on the fact that he's good. Because he could have been somebody like man, I forgot. Oh my God, forgive me, my brother.
His original name was Chris Jackson.
No. Outside of him, because I know I'll go a whole hour on that situation. But the situation with I forgot his name. He won the 3-point. I know his name. He played for the Bulls. He won the 3-point contest. He went to they won the championship. Not won the championship, but he played for the Hodges. Thank you. And when he gave that letter, it changed everything. And the only difference between him and other people is when you're as good as you are, then that matters. Now, if we start seeing like, just like right now, we're starting to see like little here's and there's in terms of, and excuse me, bro, for being this long-winded about it. I'll end it on this. If we start to see little here's and there's in terms of production or things being like handled With Jaylen Brown, we know what it is.
Mm.
If we see just like you said, just like Mahmoud, where you start off being this, that, and the third in terms of your talent and continuously growing or things of that nature, and then all of a sudden, and we're seeing it live right now with Jaylen Brown because I mean the USA team thing was all in itself. Let's
Yeah.
just put that there. But I just wanted to say that, man. That's all. As far as him, it's just racism to me, bro. I can't put it no other way.
Now, we alluded to it, but Jaylen Brown gets treated like this next player, okay? I'm going to set the stage properly. I'm going to set it up properly. This player was drafted excuse me. This player was drafted 2nd overall. He has played 67 games, 63, 57, 61, 9, 50, then 20. This player is a 2-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Player, All-Rookie, All-NBA. He averages 22 points, 4.6 rebounds, 7.4 assists for his career. This player was suspended a number of times. Okay, he was suspended for 1 game by the Grizzlies for conduct detrimental to the team. He was suspended in 23-24 season for 25 games for conduct detrimental to the league. He was also suspended 8 games for a video of him displaying a firearm while intoxicated at a Denver Arena nightclub. Let me make a couple things clear, all right? Number 1, Ja Morant is a grown man, okay? Grown man. Number 2, there are situations that as a grown man with your talent, with your skill, with your bag, you gotta avoid, because you got a little girl at home. Like, not from the sense of just you can fumble the bag, from the sense of you could find yourself in a dangerous situation and now that little girl is without a dad. Like, there's different things like that, right? Different things that you got to be aware of as a grown man. Also, you have to understand that no matter what you do, because you have money and you're one of the best in the league at what you do, you sell tickets, you put butts in seats, everybody is going to scrutinize you at the highest of levels because they're just waiting and seeing for opportunity to be like, hey, he messed up, right? That, and then also we're looking for the next face of the league because Steph, KD, and LeBron, they're on their way out, and you and Anthony Edwards and Jason Tatum, you guys are jockeying for position for who got next, and here come French dude took that out of your, from out under you, right? So it's like all of these things taking place, I'll put that at Ja Morant's feet, okay? Just that part. My issue here is right now, today, he's 26. When all of this was happening, he was 23, right? 24 or whatever. I didn't know everything that I know now at 23 and 24. Didn't know that. But what I do know is this. I watched businesses. I studied business. I went to school for business. I have my degree in business. I've studied investing. I know a lot about investing. All right. Followed it for a long time on how to do it, different ways you can do it. How does it look? One of the things that is talked about is protecting your investment. Ja Morant has his part to play, has his responsibilities in this. But the Grizzlies did the worst possible job to protect their investment in Ja Morant. See, there's a way to communicate to people who Ja Morant's a strong personality, a strong-willed individual. So if you come at him sideways, even the slightest, you lost him. You no longer have his ear. It's going to be contentious from this point on. You have to figure out a way that you can reach him without trying to son him. He has a dad. He doesn't need another one. He has a father figure. You don't have to, and it's not babysitting. It's, again, protecting your investment. That's one part of this that bothers me, is that the Grizzlies, I mean, they basically made it seem like they were just policing him or babysitting him or whatever the case may be. and there's a human being that is dealing with all of the outside criticism, all of the media attacking him and all this other stuff, and he's trying to navigate like, all right, these are the guys that I was rolling with all of these years. I'm in the NBA now. I can't just cut these dudes off. Like, he's struggling with all of those things that you factor in, right? I don't like the way the Grizzlies handled the portion where you're supposed to protect your investment, even if it means protecting him from himself. How do you feel about Ja Morant and the Grizzlies and how all that stuff unfolded?
I think a while back we had we had a long-winded back and forth as far as when the situation itself happened with Ja, just in terms of I mean, it wasn't like necessarily we didn't necessarily agree, but we just had it was more of like the importance of both versions, I guess, of what's right and what's wrong, I guess. I'll say.
Yeah, I remember. Yep.
Yeah.
And we also, one of the things that I think in that conversation, my biggest, because we're a lot of the focus was on the actual situation.
Yeah.
I remember that. It was the situation. So like my perspective was like, I mean, now you're just antagonizing, like
right.
Adam Silver got it hanging over his head all the time that, hey man, you ain't no Stern. You ain't David Stern. Yeah. And you're giving him the opportunity to flex that. That's one of the things that we touched on, but like, yeah, I remember the conversation.
So like now, like years later, and I still feel how I feel about it. I mean about some of it. Maybe most. When it comes to Ja, like, yes, I still believe that the actions were stupid. But I feel like two things can be true. Yes, the actions itself to me were stupid. I think also that's true. As I said before, I was like, he didn't do anything wrong. And though sometimes you cannot do anything wrong and still be penalized, I felt like at the time, it was just another version of, again, the power that they can pull, even with, like we just talked about with Jaylen Brown, where, we may talk about actions or how things look or things of that nature. I feel like the NBA, as much as I love basketball, like even from a business standpoint, they pick and choose what they would like to police. And I say that even with, other things that they've done in the past, but dress code being like one of the major ones. But like, I mean, if you see guys nowadays, like I'm gonna just leave it there. Like I'm gonna leave it there. You know what I mean? So if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, when it comes to John the Grizzlies, my thing with the Grizzlies is they are absolutely what you said they were, or that said they are. And I'll give you even another example when it comes to how they handle things incorrectly to me is Dylan Brooks. When your team is winning and they have an identity and they all, they're the cool young guys. You gotta, some of that stuff you do have to take the good with the bad. And then granted, he didn't have too much of a bad. It was just, okay, like I'm trying to establish myself. So, he had his back and forth with Bron, or attempted to have his back and forth with Bron. And after that happened, based on public perception and everything in basketball, I'm saying, not nothing outside of basketball, like not anything else, you deserted him. You got rid of him. You banished him.
Yep.
And he didn't do anything but exactly the same thing that he's doing today, and exactly the same thing that he's done with any other team, and exactly the same thing that he was doing when y'all were winning.
Yep.
And so I say that to say they have a history of mismanaging people. I feel like when they did that, they broke up the team. And so and it just I think just being so much of trying to follow what's going on, I think that's being in play. Where when it comes to so I'm just saying as far as them being an organization that just mismanages stuff in a general sense.
Yeah.
Now when it comes to yeah, I do believe that, hey, my brother, like, I don't have your money. I don't have the success you have in terms of what you've done with basketball. But I can say that sometimes it's not necessary to lean into it just because you're upset. That's a very, 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 like, to me, low emotional response. It can happen to anybody at a point, especially being somebody young who just got hundreds of millions of dollars yesterday. You know what I mean? Literally his story is that. Literally his story is if the coach didn't go get some chips, I wouldn't be here. If I didn't do that dunk that went viral, nobody would have saw my production and how I actually play. Like, everything kind of just boom, 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 boom. And so when he makes those type of mistakes, it's like, yeah, I can kind of try to vouch for you because I know you're young and I know you probably, I don't, he just made this one mistake. But my thing is, like, when you lean into it and it's like, well, if I'm that, then I'm gonna be that. That don't make your situation any better, my brother. Period. So I can say that. I'll say in that avenue, I'll say, yeah, it's stupid, bro. It's stupid. Now, and I say that with love.
I agree with that because that was one of the points that I just made.
Yeah.
Here's what I mean about Memphis and this story perfectly because it was told by 3 different people.
For sure.
3 different versions in the sense that, this is my experience. Yours was the same. Yours was the same. Udonis Haslem, Michael Beasley, and Mario Chalmers. They were talking about how they had situations where things went left while they was at the club. Number 1, they wasn't supposed to be there in a few of those instances. Number 2, it was a very, very dangerous situation that they made it out of. But their first thought was, man, I wonder, nothing happened. Hopefully the team don't find out. I don't think they will. We good. They go home. First thing in the morning, they get a phone call from Pat Riley. He was like, hey, where was you at last night? He was like, because I heard such and such happened. Such and such happened. Don't let that happen again. They was like, Pat, how did you find out about this? He was like, this is my city. There's nothing that happens in my city that I don't know or I won't find out about. Keep that in mind for your stay in Miami. The idea that, these are just grown men, whatever they're gonna do is cool. We pay them to play basketball. As long as they do that, we good. You gotta protect your investment, even if it means protecting them from itself. But I'm not going to try to son you. I'm going to try and mentor you because guess what? You already got a father. I don't have to be that. But you don't have people on the other side that's come from where you come from or who now experience the environments that you're now experiencing in the league. Ja Morant, real name is Clarence, comes from a good family with 2 good parents. Cool. All right. I don't know the whole backstory on that. None of those people came into the NBA, and to your point, the next day had millions of dollars in their bank account. Nobody has that. But there's a ton of players in the league. There's mentors. There's, NBPA. You could talk to them. The best thing that happened to Ja Morant is getting traded to Portland. I don't care about the basketball aspect. He's being paired up with Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is the epitome of what you want in a veteran player, veteran star player, right? Aging, whatever, but he's done things in the league. Damian Lillard is one of the most chill dudes in the entire NBA. And he's had experiences in the league. He's been through things in the NBA. So he can talk about it from a number of different perspectives to where it's not him trying to son John Morant. He just being there for him. Just being a mentor. Got any questions? I'm here. You need information? I'm here. Maybe we can stay away from that. Maybe we could just stay away from that. Why don't we go this? You know what I'm saying? Things like that, right? Memphis couldn't provide that for him. They couldn't do that. They had no intention on doing that. So that's what I mean when I talk about Ja in this sense, because it's so many different instances where players go to bad organizations and the only idea is that, we got Zion Williamson. We got Ja Morant. They're going to help us turn this organization around. Yes. What about the investment into them? Not about what they can do for you on the basketball court. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, that's where I come from when I talk about this, you know, how things played out. My issue back then was with the gun situation. There is a phrasing in their contracts basically that if they found out one of those weapons was registered to Ja Morant and he didn't file that with the league, they could void his contract if they wanted to. That's crazy. Listen, Mr. Front Office man, Mr. League Executive, I ain't gonna be near a gun. I can't spell gun. I didn't see a gun. Gun where? Gun who? Is that his name? I ain't know him. If it's not registered to me and with the league, I don't want nothing to do with it. That's majority of what my point was. The other factor is, I still think to this day that Buddy set him up. That's just me.
Yeah. I said the same thing during that time. Yeah, I said the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's all I got really on Ja, man. Like, the trade happened. I don't really care about the trade. I just don't like the way these two individuals, Ja Morant, obviously has a history with the front office and the league office. Cool. But some responsibility needs to be placed on Memphis. You can't tell me that Jaylen Brown deserves to be treated like Ja Morant when their situations and what they've done off the basketball court are exact opposite.
Opposites, man.
Very exact opposite. But that's all we got, man. Appreciate y'all watching the live stream. Get this video a like, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to my man Tommy for pulling up.
Appreciate you, brother.
So we're going to be doing more streams or tune in his channel. Check out his channel.